All right, today we're going to dive into a really simple, but honestly, a pretty profound idea. It comes from the Suppose workbook. And look, this isn't about overhauling your entire life or forcing some massive change. It's all about the quiet power that comes from asking just one simple question: what if? So let's get right to the heart of it. The word suppose here, it's not about winning an argument with yourself or proving a point. It's really just an act of pure curiosity. Imagine you're just gently opening a door to a new possibility. You're not trying to force yourself through it, you're just peeking at what might be on the other side. And this one question, this is the key to everything we're about to explore. It's the kind of thought that can gently, slowly loosen the grip of all those old stories and fixed beliefs that, let's be honest, we might not even realize we're clinging to so tightly. So, where does this whole journey of supposing even begin? Well, it has to start inward. Our first stop here is all about questioning the very foundation of who we think we are. It's almost automatic, isn't it? If someone asks who you are, you say your name, your job, what family you're from, your achievements, maybe even your failures. It's like the resume version of me. But so often, there's this quiet voice deep down that just asks, is that really the whole story? Is that it? And this is where it gets really interesting. On one hand, you've got that surface-level identity, the resume self. But on the other hand, we're invited to juxtapose that we're something more fundamental, a soul that's here to learn. And that's a huge shift, right? It's a move from defining yourself by what you do to connecting with who you fundamentally are. Okay, and this is where that shift gets really powerful in day-to-day life. When you start looking from this deeper place, life's challenges start to look different. You know that one person who just gets under your skin? Maybe, just maybe, they're mirroring some insecurity you haven't faced yet. And that sudden flash of anger? What if it's not a character flaw? What if it's actually an alarm bell, a signal that a part of you is just asking for healing? So, if we start making this shift on the inside, how does that actually change our world on the outside? In this next section, we're going to see just how deeply connected the internal and the external really are. This brings us to a really cool idea called co-creation. Now, this distinction is crucial. This isn't about believing you can control every single thing that happens to you, because that's just a recipe for frustration. Instead, it's about recognizing that you're an active participant. You're like a dance partner with life, not just a passive bystander getting tossed around. So, how does this work in practice? Well, think of your attention like a spotlight. Whatever you shine that light on is what gets energized. So if your spotlight is constantly fixed on what you're afraid of, on what's lacking, that's the world you're going to live in. But if you intentionally, deliberately point it towards growth and possibility, your whole reality can start to shift. And this is the question to ask yourself right now. Seriously, just take a second and be honest with yourself. In the last week, where has your mental spotlight been pointed? And this isn't about judging yourself. It's just about awareness. Simply seeing where your energy is going is the very first step to redirecting it. And right here, this is the core of that whole shift. It's the huge difference between asking, why is this happening to me, versus asking, what is this trying to show me? See, it's the move from feeling like a victim of life to becoming a student of it. One perspective leaves you feeling powerless. The other opens up a whole world of learning. Okay, so we've talked about the what, these inner and outer shifts. But how? How do we actually do this? Well, the workbook suggests the path isn't complicated at all. In fact, it's right here, right now. The real teacher is just presence. I love this quote. We're so often conditioned to believe that rushing around and being busy equals progress. But this flips that idea on its head. It reframes slowing down as a strategic tool. You're not giving up. You're just giving yourself a moment to gain clarity so your next move can be that much wiser. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in the same loop, facing the same kind of challenge over and over again? The workbook suggests that's just life, being a very patient teacher, presenting the same lesson until we finally slow down enough to get it. Presence is what allows us to finally notice the curriculum. And look, this doesn't require an hour on a meditation cushion. The practice can be so simple, just 30 seconds. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just stop. Notice your breath, and then return. This tiny little act is enough to break the trance of being on autopilot and bring you back to the present moment. And that's where all your real power is. So as we start to wrap this up, it's so important to remember this isn't about achieving some perfect enlightened state. It's just about the practice of beginning, again and again, from a deeper, more centered place.
This whole thing isn't about waging war on your flaws or trying to fix what you think is broken about you. The real invitation here is to practice integration, to welcome all parts of yourself, even the messy, fearful, awkward parts, with some real compassion. It's a shift from a constant project of self-improvement to a gentle practice of deep self-acceptance.
So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it's that choice to slow down and just pause before you send that reactive email. It's listening to someone to actually hear them, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It's about responding with intention instead of just reacting on impulse. And maybe most importantly, it's that quiet trust that your own path is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Let's just sit with that for a second. What if all this work isn't about putting broken pieces back together? What if it's just about peeling away the layers of belief that keep you from seeing the wholeness that was there all along? It's a profound thought, and honestly, a deeply comforting one. And so we end right back where we began, with a gentle question, a possibility for you to carry with you. Suppose you don't need to search so hard for answers outside yourself. Suppose that everything you're looking for is already right here, just waiting for you to slow down, get quiet, and listen.